it's a time where they must be having questions about the choices to make in the future. So we thought we'd have somebody who's professionally trained, to guide them, on these questions. So we have Ms. Surabhi. She's actually a student of Radhika, and she's also well known to us, very close to us from that side. And professionally, she's been handling and training and guiding students, in career choices. So over to you, Surabhi.
Thank you, Anita. Can I be okay? All right, Divya, are you there?
Yes. For some reason,
sure.
I'm
No
not able to turn on my video.
Can I get the highlight?
Yes. Just going to be.
Okay, I think I've been able to do this. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Welcome, all the parents and children. I know these are very tough times for all of you, including us. So first of all, I hope all of you are keeping safe, all of you are keeping sound, and all of you are keeping healthy. So that will be start from my side. And my colleague, my team member, Divya is also there. Divya, you can say hi, hello to all the Hyderabadis. You also happen to be from Hyderabad.
Yes, hi everyone. For some reason, I'm not able to start my video because it says the host has stopped it. Can any of you?
Okay.
Yes. I have given you the permission. I'm sorry, I had to, to be a little more extra cautious with that. But you're
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I guess now I'm visible to everyone. Hi guys. It's so awesome to see all of you. I guess there are around, it's so wonderful, 70 participants. And I think this is the closest we can get, in times of pandemic, seeing each other. So it's so wonderful to see all the parents and students and teachers and staff here. And I'm sure this session is going to be very insightful to all of you. And you're going to be having fun the next hour and a half. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Divya, thanks for using the word fun here, because I would want all the parents and students actually to have fun here. Know that this is not a serious discussion. This is an information session, and know that all of you are going to make an amazing career. I'm sure that, and thanks to Daksh for giving us this opportunity. But I'm sure Daksh is giving you, your school is giving you so many interesting perspectives. Here we'll be doing an additional exercise with all of you. Maybe let me share my screen. Very simple, as your Anita auntie already explained what this session is about. So the next 1.5 hours, my effort will be that I help you understand what the steps and your initial steps to start doing your career planning. So that will be my effort, and my request is at any point of time, you can use your chats, you can say yes there, you can ask questions there. So before we start, I see there's so many students from 8th, 9th, 10th, all the grades. That's fantastic. So if parents are there, good. If parents are there, that's fine. Not there, that's also fine. But if your parents are not there, this is getting streamed on YouTube. Please go ask them to watch it. Sit down with them and watch it with them. So before I open up and I start my discussion, I want all the parents to write it down on the chat. Why? If you are excited or if you are looking forward to the next 1.5 hours. To all the parents, please put it on chat. Why or yes, that yes. Sure. Please. I want all the parents to write it down. Shrisha's parent says yes. Saket, okay, don't do direct message to me. Kashish, yes. Kashish's parent says yes. Brahmani's parent says yes. C and Shripad sir, fantastic. Yes, yes. I want to see more yes. I want to see 70 plus yes. Mahika's parent says yes. Mahika, you are in class 7. Abhiram says okay. Fantastic, fantastic, awesome. So parents, I will also want you, if you have a pen and paper around you, or if you don't have, if you can think of one question which you want me, Divya, and Career Guide to answer you. So think about one question. If your child is in class 7, fine. If your child is in class 9, fine. Wherever your child is in, whichever class, I want you to think of one question related to their career, note it down, and we'll try to answer that and see that in the process of 1 hour, have we answered it or not. Great, awesome. So children, all the 70 plus children out here, if you are excited about this, and if you think, no, unnecessary, they have just got us into one more Zoom classes. We are so tired every day with Zoom classes. There are so many Zoom classes from last 1 year. So if you think that, no, that's not the case, and you are excited about this, please put up a smiley on the chat. I want to see a smiley. I want to see a smiley. So she is here. Fantastic. So I want to see a smiley from the people. All the 70 plus students should be answering yes, 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 yes. Smiley. This is not your regular Zoom class. Know that I am your friend. Divya is your friend. Career Guide is your friend. You have all the nice friends here. Yes, all the 70 smiles. Oh, I like all these 5-6 smileys coming in. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So that was good. That was energy for even us, because we can't see you all, right? All of you are just names to us, just black boxes. So it's important you keep using your chat boxes. You keep putting all these, thumbs up smileys and all the questions. Sushi, are you fine? Are you good?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Ma'am, if we can give Sushi the co-host access also.
Yeah. Do it in a minute. Yeah.
All right, Amruta, thank you. That's the maximum number of smiley. Amruta from 7th, yay. That's fantastic. So let's have Sushi here. Oh, see, I now found Akshya from class 7. She's trying to overpower and give us more smiley. Thank you, Akshya. All right. So your speaker, your lead presenter for the day, Divya and Sushi, is right in front of you. Over to you, Sushi. I have just introduced ourselves to everybody. Also, I just asked parents to write out some questions so that, they can start thinking of questions and we can start, taking that up.
Sure.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So over to both of you.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so Ruby, I have a question. Do I spotlight both of you or do I do it in turns? First Sushi and then Divya?
No, so my request would be for the questions, we'll try to take questions towards the end, Okay. But if there's some questions in the chat which Divya or Sushi thinks needs to be taken up, they will coordinate themselves.
All right.
And if we
So
have
we start
missed
with
any,
Sushi. Yes.
if Divya has missed any, right? Or Sushi has missed any, you can always come forward and ask us to answer. And there's so many smileys coming. Yay,
Yeah,
yay.
I swear, so many smileys coming out. It's so fantastic here. Okay, so let me start with sharing my screen. Let's start with a little presentation that we have prepared for all of you. And yes, there you go. So can you give me a thumbs up sign if you can see the presentation? Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, Sushi.
Yes, fantastic. Okay. So students, what are we here today to talk about? So to the students and all to the parents here, thank you for joining us today. And so of course, as Surbi has already explained to you guys, we are from Career Guide and we are here to discuss about how to plan and ensure the right career direction. So career is something that it's not a simplified concept like just finding the job that I would want to do for the rest of my life. So there are a lot of other components which are involved in career, and there are all these sorts of questions which go in on our head. It all starts from the first time somebody asks you, what do you want to do become when you grow up, and that's when you start thinking about it. Now, often what happens is that we are influenced by the common perceptions around us, what we hear from the people around us. Maybe it's the family, maybe it's our friends or relatives, or maybe, it is somebody that we actually look up to. Maybe it's some famous personality that we are very inspired by, and we are like, okay, I want to become like this. Or maybe, we just see something on TV or in the movies, and we are like, okay, this seems very interesting. Maybe that's what I want to become. But the thing is, preparation and planning is very, very important. And there are a lot more other factors that we need to understand. And the most important thing, of course, that we're going to talk about is like first starting with knowing ourselves first. But before we get to all the other details, let's first understand what are the common perceptions we have out there when it comes to career. So, okay, before I start off with this, so what do you guys think, all of you, what does career mean? So can we have some answers from you in the chat? So what does the word career mean for you? Okay, so probably, yeah, Divya, could you help me with the answers like
Yeah,
in the chat
yeah,
there?
we
Yeah.
have answers: a job, passion,
Uh-huh.
aspirations,
Very good.
profession,
Very
doing what
interesting.
you like,
Uh-huh.
your
Uh-huh.
favorite job,
Right.
passion. Yes,
Fantastic.
the
Excellent.
keywords are
Excellent.
passion, job, favorites,
Yes. Passion, job, favorites. Okay. What excites us?
responsibility.
Responsibility. Yes, again, that's a very huge important part of it. So starting off with some common perceptions that we have to exit. Let's
Future.
go ahead with that. Yeah. Okay. So the most important thing that we all get to hear is, maybe you've heard it so many times, is that engineering and medical are the best career options. Now, as we go about, I also want to bust certain myths over here. So maybe, 10, 20 years ago, this might have been true, but right now today, there are so many other options which are emerging every year. Okay. In the last decade, if you've seen, we have had a boom of technology. Correct. So you have so many new technologies. You might have heard of artificial intelligence. You might have heard of data science. You might have heard of androids and humanoids, right? There's all these exciting fields. Then maybe there is biomedical. Okay. There is all these multidisciplinary fields. So it's not just engineering and medical, but also like you have other things like arts and commerce, and all these exciting options out there. So does it make sense just limiting ourselves to these options, or should we understand more? So that is what we're going to talk about more. Now, coming forward to other perceptions, other thing that you would hear from most of the people around you is you should do what others are doing and money will follow. So of course, so there are a lot of like motivations that people pick up on the way, that why they want to become what they want to become. So these are called as career motivators, right? So maybe I want to become a doctor because I want to save lives. Okay. Or maybe I want to become, let's say, an officer because, maybe I think that I'll have loads of money, and, at the same time, I can help out people. So the thing is, we have to also determine for ourselves what exactly we are looking for, right? So that's another thing to consider. Then another common perception is that your major in college will lead to your career. Now, here I would again like to point out, let me burst this particular myth, that a lot of students might choose a particular major in college, a particular field. Let's say they want to do engineering, or like they want to do the BTech in computer science, or they want to do commerce. But often after college, many people actually change their path. okay, they will go into different other paths. So that's the interesting thing to understand here, right? That it's not that once I've chosen something that I have to stick to it forever, but that there is always, like, it is more like life is like a, a crossroad, right? At each and every junction, you will have multiple options for you. So you can choose one of the options at every step. Let's say in 12th standard, after 12th, you'll determine which college you go to, what course you do. Again, once you complete with the college, you will have many more options to choose from. If you want to go for higher studies, you want to go for a job, and even after that, you can decide if you want to study more. So those things are always there. So career is not a linear path, right? It is not about preparing you for one job. It is about, you're carving out your path. So at each and every junction, you can always have different choices. Yeah. So again, another thing that maybe you hear from a lot of people is, oh, if you short enter into this premier institution, okay, you are assured of lifelong success. Now, even though we find that some students who come from certain institutes may be successful, that is not so, because students who are successful, actually people who are successful, have certain traits that they work with. Okay, that is, they are hardworking people, they do smart work, okay, and they're always like learning, keeping learning on the go. So those traits are much more important. And just because we get a degree from a certain institute, it doesn't assure success. So who determines our success? It is us ourselves. So the secret formula is with us, right? So that is the important thing to be understood here. Okay, then another thing you might have heard, that education from abroad colleges, it will lead to a fantastic career. Now, this is again not true, because we have a lot of students who've studied from India, who have gone to excellent colleges, who have established themselves well. So it all depends upon how we plan things, how we understand things, and if we really understand ourselves, that what is it that we want, what is it that motivates us, and how can we go forward with it. So next, offbeat careers do not pay well. Now, often it might be that maybe some of us wants to become like a choreographer or a dancer or an artist, and you might hear from other people that those careers don't pay so well. But again, that's not really the way to look at careers. It's not about whether they pay well or not, but it's also to do with the fact that, are we happy doing the work, right? Are we happy? Are we motivated? Are we inspired to be following something? And there are always ways to earn money in each and every field. So money is an important motivator, but that's not everything. More important is if you have the interest and the aptitude for it. Now, these are the important points you're hearing right now, correct? So at this juncture, I want to ask you, what do you think is aptitude? So guys, in the chat box. So I talked about two things. Your aptitude is important and your interest. So what do you think is aptitude? Have you heard this word before? Okay, so raise your hands if you've heard the word aptitude before.
Okay, we are having some answers here. So she's
Yeah,
says
fantastic.
skill, Rohan
Yes.
and Raga says ability.
Wonderful.
And we have affinity to a certain realm,
Fantastic. Very
underlying
good.
capacity for something,
Right.
skill.
Right.
Skill is the key word.
Skill. Very good. Very
Kartikeya
good.
wants to know what aptitude is.
Okay, that's also good. So Kartikeya, for you, I'm definitely going to explain to you.
Ability to do something. Yes.
Right. Excellent, guys. I'm so impressed that you guys are aware about aptitude. So what exactly is the aptitude? Is your natural capacity towards doing certain things. So some people have the natural ability, naturally they're just good at doing. Some people are naturally good with numbers. Some people are naturally very artistic and very creative. Okay, some people can imagine very well, so that is your aptitude, right? Some people have a very keen sense, like if you put a problem in front of them, they're going to analyze it from each and every direction. Okay, so that is their aptitude, correct? Second thing I talked about was interest. So can you tell me what is interest? So can we have quick answers about what is interest?
Okay, guys, come on.
Okay, what is interest? Have you heard? Not the simple interest, compound interest. No, I don't
The
mean that.
love for something, preference to do
Fantastic,
something,
fantastic. Preference
passion,
for something, passion, very good. So, what
keenness.
happens? Yeah, so fantastic, guys. I think you got the point. So, interest is when we love something, we have a passion for it, we are ready to work more for it, right? Because sometimes maybe you love a subject, you love solving the problems in it, whatever the teacher teaches, you immediately are able to grasp it and you're like, oh, I love this subject. Even if things are difficult in it, you'll be like, no, I'm going to push myself a bit more because I'm really interested to know more. So now you understood why these two concepts are important. Both the aptitude and interest are the important concepts that we have to keep in mind when we are talking about careers. So I hope we're going to discuss this more. So there will be more discussion generated. And now, right now, let me move forward. Okay, then a recognized organization, a bigger brand implies a better career. Again, it's the same thing, like whether you have, studied in a fantastic college or not, or if you're working in a great place, none of those things actually determine your career. Your career has got a lot to do with who you are as a person, what is your aptitude, and what is your interest. Then another important thing right now is maybe you've all heard the word entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship. Have you heard that? Can I have raised hands if you heard of entrepreneurship? Yes, fantastic. So I have Anjali, Akshaya, Bharat. Okay, loads of people who have heard of entrepreneurship. Okay, now the thing is, so what do you guys think is entrepreneurship? Excellent, excellent. So can I have like one quick answer? What is entrepreneurship?
Business,
Yes,
business,
business,
own career,
own career. Yes,
trade,
trade. Yeah.
enterprise,
Okay. So, yes, we have
startup.
almost got the concept over there. So, the idea of entrepreneurship is when we start our own business. So, instead of working in another company, we start our own business. But again, we have to understand it. Like we talked about aptitude and interest, some people have a natural ability for doing business or for entrepreneurship. So whatever we choose, it's very important we understand both the pros and cons of that before we jump into it completely, right? So that's what I want to say here, that you should also, if you're interested in starting your own business, that's fantastic. But again, we have to understand that if we ourselves are ready, if we have the correct aptitude or interest for it or not. Excellent. So, like I talked about a bit before, so our decision making process, is being directed by all these things, right? Sometimes it's parents, sometimes it's friends and relatives, sometimes it's like, okay, my high salaries, so maybe I should go for this career, or that's how the market is trending. That's how all my peers are choosing this particular subject and this stream, so maybe should I go that way? So among all these things, what do you think is the right way to choose your career among things in front of you?
Our own way.
Oh, fantastic. Who said that? Who said that?
Ritika?
Ritika. Excellent, Ritika. Excellent answer. So it is not so much about all of these other factors, but at the end of the day, who is the most important person who determines what is to be done is you yourself. Okay, but before going and jumping into that, you always need to first understand that what do you want, right? Who are you? That doesn't mean your name, but who are you in the sense of how is your personality and traits, what is your interest and aptitude, what motivates you. All of these things are important in the decision making process. Again, you're going to be told about successful relatives around you, or sometimes your parents have certain aspirations, or that they might tell you that these are specific careers. Sometimes you tend to follow the herd mentality, right? When you get confused with all these other options around, you'll be like, okay, my friend is taking this, so let me go along with it. Again, or following all these trends, or like I said, high salaries, or maybe something is more glamorous for us. Let's say, like, I want to become an actor because it's a very glamorous career. all of these things, okay? Or maybe something is tried and tested, like we discussed with engineering and medicine and all that. So again, so we come back to the same thing, that instead of getting embroiled and confused by all of these factors, like Ritika said, what do we need to determine? First of all, we need to search and understand about ourselves. And also we need to understand what the main career choices are. So two things to be done. First thing, understanding who you are clearly. We're going to get to that later. And the second part is understanding what are all the options there. Now tell me one thing, when you go to the restaurant, right? Okay, before the COVID times when you used to go, if you go to a new, let's imagine you go to a new restaurant, right? So do you just close your eyes and order on your own, or would you like to look at the menu card? What do you guys do?
Look at the menu.
Look at the menu. Look at the menu. Fantastic. Look at the menu, right? So what are we doing? So before ordering, before deciding what you want to eat, don't you always check the things, become aware of the options out there, right? Correct?
Yes.
When we do it
Yes.
with something as simple as food that we enjoy, right? Isn't it important that we do the same for our career? Correct? So
Yes.
the first thing we should do is always excellent. So the first thing we should always do is find out what are all the options out there. Correct? And then, you know, out of the options which are presented to us, think about it. Okay, which one suits me well? Okay, according to my interest and aptitude, which is suitable, which is what I'm ready for. We can think about those questions later, right? So first of all, I'm coming to the part where we're discussing the different career choices. Now, students, very important here, what we have done is traditionally the way that the career choices are presented, that is how we have divided the career options according to the subjects or the streams that you will pick up in your 11th grade, correct? So up till 10th grade, you have all common subjects, right? And in 11th and 12th, generally you start like going into particular streams, right? Now, going forward with the new education policy, things may change, but what is important for us to understand is certain careers or certain things might be associated with a certain subjects that you already pick up in your 11th and 12th grade. So according to that, we have segregated the career choices. Clear? According to that, we have divided the career options. So coming to PCM, PCM means physics, chemistry, maths, for those of you who are young and you don't know. So often, you know, there are also like main career choices. So these are the ones which are prominently you would hear. So when somebody takes the choice of physics, chemistry, maths in 11th and 12th, it's very, very obvious to us that, okay, there are two options. First, engineering is a very common option. And the second one, the lesser known one and the less popular one, is that of architecture. Now, again, these are only the prominent ones. But the question is, do you think there are other options also which are not that prominent and which also could be important for you? Do you think?
Absolutely.
Have you heard of any other options? Yes. Yeah. Give me an example, please. Anybody can give me an example that after physics, chemistry, maths, you know, what other career options could be there? Anybody has an idea? Of course, we're going to discuss it, Emma. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Game designing,
design?
scientist,
Excellent. Okay.
research, physicist,
Okay. Research, physicist, lecturer. Excellent. So that is very good. Excellent. Actually,
computer, coding.
yeah, wow, fantastic. Okay, now I'm like really
Yeah, they're really smart.
yes, you guys are a really, you're one of the most interactive and like smartest you know, bunch of students that I've addressed. This is so fantastic. This is so amazing. Okay, very good. So I mean, let me get through this quickly then. So these are the mainstream choices, but of course, like similarly, when you take physics, chemistry with biology, of course, the main choices that you think of is, what do you think this choice is on the right? Can you identify this plus symbol?
Nurse or something hospital related.
Hospital, doctor.
Exactly. Fantastic. Yes,
It's
medicine. Medical. Very good. And the one on the left side, what does that talk about?
Scientist.
Exactly. Scientific research, right? That's a microscope there for you, correct? So you look at the specimens, you can look at the biological samples, correct? Excellent. Okay. Then similarly, you have the career choices, like you have the field of commerce, right? You take commerce with maths also in 11th and 12th. So again, and other than that, you can also take humanities in 11th and 12th. Now, I would like to make it very clear here, students, that it's not like something is very awesome and great. If you take PCM, oh, you are very great, and if you take commerce, oh, no, there's nothing of that sort. All of the choices are equally important, right? All of the jobs and careers required that you can obtain from each of these choices are equally important. So never think that a certain choice is like higher than the other one. No. So the choices always need to be based on who you are and what you want to become, correct? So it should not be determined by in your head. Don't have these ideas that maybe this is better and this is no, nothing of that sort. All the streams are equally important for us, and in all the streams you can have excellent careers. Okay, of course, subject to the condition that you're ready to work hard, you're ready to work smart, and you're ready to be learning all the way, correct? So that's very important thing here. So coming into more detailed careers in PCM, so of course we talked about engineering. Engineering now has multiple fields, right? You have computer science, mechanical, electrical, electronics. Other than that, like you all of you guys talked about, you have these emerging fields, right? You have robotics, you have this field of industrial design. Do you know what happens in industrial design? Have you any clue? Product design, industrial design?
Probably you create a new product.
Right.
Or like
Create the machines. Like a mobile.
designing apartment or buildings, maybe designing
Okay.
how they have to there.
Designing the buildings, Amma, goes into architecture and civil engineering, right? So excellent. So whoever answered
Designing
this,
something can.
yeah, so designing of the products for the industrial design, you have these huge industries wherein you have huge working parts. So you will have cogs and huge machines, right? And in order to move all of those and in order to design all those individual parts, you have the industrial designer, okay, who's going to design these individual parts and say that, okay, these all come together and fit together in this manner. And that is how the entire industry or the entire factory is going to run, right? Okay, product designer, very simple example, like I have a phone in my hand, right? So the product designer determines that, okay, this is how the phone should look like. Okay, this is the material I need to use in the phone, correct? And this should be the size and the dimensions of the phone. So that's what a product designer does. Excellent, you guys. So other than these options that we talked about, there are also other things you could consider, like a bit, different. Okay, like you say, bit hatke. So those things are like commercial pilot. So even after PCM, you can become a... Sorry, do we have a question? Oh, could you please mute yourself?
Tejaswini, can you mute yourself, Nana? Children, please can you mute yourself? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So you can become a commercial pilot. You could also go into merchant navy. So these are the different things. Also, if a lot of you may be interested in joining the defense services, right, for serving the country at the border, which is again excellent options out there for all of us in army, in navy, in air force. Okay, and other than that, there is the huge interesting field. If you're interested in mathematics and statistics, again, there are lots of career options. So right now we have a huge demand for mathematicians and statisticians in all the fields. Okay. Now, interestingly, there is another concept that I want to introduce to you here, that we have multidisciplinary fields which are appearing. Multidisciplinary fields means I'm going to combine things from different fields. How do I do that? For example, there is something called biomedical engineering. In biomedical engineering, what do people do? They create, you must have heard of CT scan, right? MRI machines. Have you guys heard of it? Can you raise your hands? Have you heard of these
Especially in the COVID
diagnostic?
time.
Yeah, especially in the COVID time, you know, these PCR tests and all these things, you have all these instruments which help you do the testing and all that, correct? Okay, all these machines. So who do you think builds these machines? These machines are again built by engineers, and those engineers are called as biomedical engineers. Cool now? Do you want to like invent a new machine that will help detect, you know, a very important disease in a very easy manner? Would you want to do that?
Absolutely.
Anybody? Any ideas? What disease would you love to cure in this manner? Any ideas?
COVID.
COVID.
COVID. Okay,
AIDS.
very good. Very good. Excellent response. Yes. So excellent. So maybe if you are, you know, geared up about it, so maybe you could also, you know, take PCM, go for it. So these are all the multiple options that you have in front of you, right? After taking
Dengue
PCM.
and malaria.
Dengue and malaria. Okay, very interesting. So maybe you want to.
AIDS.
Huh. Okay.
AIDS.
AIDS also. Correct. So you want to work towards cure. So I was talking more about machines to detect them. But if I want to cure something,
Sure.
right? Maybe I need to look at different type of options, right? So if I want to cure malaria and all that, so probably, you know, I should take biology as one of my subjects, right? Because I need to understand how a disease functions. And after that, I could go more into the academics and medical research, right? And other than this, you also have these areas of biotechnology and bioinformatics. Biotechnology right now, like genetics, genetic engineering, all these new fields of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, you work with particles and things which are of nanometer scale. Do you understand nanometer? Have you heard of
Very
nanometer?
Yes,
small.
yes, very small, like the
Very small.
smallest of small.
Okay. So how many
Very
meters,
It is the
how
power
many
of -9.
excellent 10 to the power of
Absolutely.
minus 9. Excellent, whoever
Wonderful.
answered that. So that is a nanometer. So imagine that. So in nanotechnology, you try to, you know, look into your body, you look into the cells, how they're functioning. You also try and build materials which are so small and which can change the properties. So, you know, all these, have you heard of bulletproof vests? Right?
Yes,
The
yes, yes. They
bulletproof
are
Yes,
used
yes.
for
vests.
the defense services.
Exactly.
Yes.
So right now, like people created a material called graphene, which they can use in the bulletproof vests. Okay, they have discovered like these are called nanomaterials because the properties are different in the nanometer scale. So small the particles will be, and because at that scale, suddenly, you know, the properties of the material are different. So we have been able to create things which are very light or very tough, or things which can create, you know, handle very high temperatures. Now imagine there is a huge possibility, right? When you work in this field, if you create a new material, it can have lot more applications, correct? So imagine, tell me, if I create the lightest material in the world, where can I use it? Where can I use a very light material? What would be the use of it?
It
Aeroplane.
could it could be in
Again,
airplanes, it could be ships if it is lighter than water.
yeah, excellent, excellent, very good.
Space. Space.
In space, yes, space application. So space may be more than being light. Maybe, you know, when I have to exit my atmosphere, maybe I need to build something which can handle very high
And
temperatures, right? Because you have to exit the
Mostly.
atmosphere, enter the atmosphere, correct? So all
Yes.
these things, all these ideas, if you have with you, you know, you can explore all these other new things which are available out there, like nanotechnology. Like then we also have forensics, you know, like crime scene investigation. Maybe you have seen it in some of the serials and all. So those things are done. Then you have radiology, which we already discussed, you know, x-ray machines and CT scans and all that. You have agriculture. Again, people at this moment, everybody is turning back to agriculture, right? We're talking about organic farming, we're talking about having sustainable agriculture, making it environmental friendly, correct? How many of you grow vegetables at home? I do that.
I do.
Yeah. Do you
Yes.
do that? Excellent, excellent. So yeah, maybe, you know, this is the time when, you know, even the United Nations has said that one of the most important goals that they want to achieve is zero hunger. And if you have to work for that, of course, what do we need to do? We need to increase the
More
food production.
farmers.
Yes, excellent. So we have to bring in, so there are all new areas of hydroponics and aquaponics, wherein you can even grow vegetables inside your room. So there are all these exciting possibilities, correct? So agriculture does not just mean, a simple like, kheti badi. That's not it. So there are a lot of other options inside of it. So imagine, so these are all the multiple careers that will be open to you. Of course, medical is also here. I want to again come back to the medical field. So medicine is not just about becoming doctors, but also you have paramedics, right? Right now in COVID time, you've had a lot of people like the nurses, the staff, the people who are doing the PCR testing and all that, who are bringing people. All of these are called paramedical people. So again, paramedics is an important field which opens up. These all come under allied health services. Okay, allied health services. Then there is also a field wherein you take care of elderly people, which is called geriatrics. Okay, then of course, not just people, you could also become like an animal doctor. Maybe you love dogs and cats and you're so good with them. So maybe, animal doctor, animal husbandry, all of these are multiple options to be considered, right? So these are the things. Now, moving on to commerce. So maybe you're somebody who's interested
Excuse
more.
me,
Yeah, yes.
there would IAS and IPS, those
I'm
can.
coming to those. I'm coming to those. So once I finish these stream related careers, I am going to come to those. So don't worry about that. Okay, hang in there, hang in there. Maybe 5 more minutes and we'll get there. Okay, okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay. Now talking about commerce. So if you are interested in the field of commerce and the field of like business, okay, there are again a lot of options. Like you must have heard of chartered accountants, company secretaries. Okay. You could probably go into banking. Maybe you've heard of investment banking, stock markets, right? Then there is also this huge field of insurance, or maybe you're just interested in economics and you could go on to become a professor. So all of these are again a lot of options. The interesting things which are coming in this field, again, like I said, it's a multidisciplinary. So we have something new emerging which is called fintech, which is a combination of finance and computer science and technology. So again, those are interesting fields that are coming forward for us. Then for careers in humanities, again, humanities are an excellent choice. If you are, let's say you want to become a journalist, you want to go into mass communication, probably you just want to become go into copywriting. Maybe you are somebody who wants to go and into the social work sector, right? Social work sector, like work for non-profit organizations. Maybe you want to work in the field of education. Okay, all these multiple fields. Okay, other than that, there is also the field of psychology, which is very, very important right now. There is a lot of importance being given to mental health, etc. Okay, uh, thoda, like a bit different from all of this, maybe like if you are very good at languages, definitely learning a foreign language would also be a very good choice, because there's a huge demand out there for like language translators, right? I mean, we are living in a very global world today, correct? So it is not just about knowing English or knowing your mother tongue, but if you know a foreign language, that would open up multiple other opportunities for us, right? So these are again other things we can consider. Other than that, we could go and, careers in humanities, general one that everybody talks about is fine arts, political science, history, literature. So these are the general ones. So once you gain expertise in these subjects, you can go on to do further research in it, become a professor, teach at a university. So again, you have multiple other options which open up in the field of careers in humanities for us. Okay, now coming to generic careers. So this is where actually maybe probably we forgot to include it here, but in generic careers is where we have our IAS and IPS also. Okay, other than that, the regular generic careers we all hear about as law, right? You can become a lawyer. Lawyer doesn't always mean lawyer in the court. It could also be corporate lawyer, right? Even all the huge companies out there, let's say Google or Microsoft, they all have their own lawyers who are going to look into how things are being conducted in the company. If they come up with a new product, they need to protect the product and all that. So lawyers are again of different types. Then travel and tourism, hotel management, maybe you want to, become like, go into chef, or like go become part of hotel management. Again, here, entrepreneurship is again a very generic career, right? Then somebody mentioned design. Again, design, again, I want to have special emphasis on it, because a lot of people do not consider design as an option, but design is a fantastic field out there. And design literally does not mean these generic things of just interior or fashion or accessory, but design, like we discussed earlier, it could also be industrial design, it could be product design. Even in product design, it could be very specific
Character
design. Sorry?
I said character design.
Character design, what does that mean?
Designing a character for some story or
Yes, so that would be, yes, designing of books, right? Okay. Or maybe I was about to talk about that, designing a game, right? Designing a game, again, the gaming field, that's again a huge field. So in there, you will have to design the characters, correct? It could also be things like designing of shoes, designing of cars, individual products, right? Again, a lot of design factors go into that. Another very interesting thing is, like, let's not forget UI UX design. UI UX design has got to do with, I don't know if you've heard about this. Do you all use apps on your phone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that there is a designer who is called as a UI UX designer, who is user interface, user experience designers? What do? They are the ones who determine that, okay, this logo will appear in this color in this app and it will be placed here. Okay, this is the button which will be available, and when the user clicks on it, it goes to the next screen. Okay, so imagine, like, what if people did not design it properly? Would you be able to use the apps on your phone easily?
No. Probably a lot of lags, and we don't know
Mm,
how to, where to click or
right,
what to do.
exactly. Right.
Probably app won't work at all.
Yeah, probably the apps might not be functioning at all, because maybe I forgot to put a back button, and how about I never get to go back, right? Again, all these things, designing is, that's why I said it's a huge field. So when I talk about design, don't limit yourself to just interior designing, fashion designing, but you can also explore all these different types of design fields out there. Correct? Good. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What does an interior designing mean?
Interior designer, so basically interior designer so determines like how should be the setup of the things inside of the house, like what should be the color of the walls, what is the material that you want to use for your bathroom fixtures, how should things be placed in the room, correct? Okay, what sort of doors you want to have, what sort of windows you want to have. So some people really want to like invest and make their houses very livable, right? You want to make it very comfortable, so that's when they hire interior designers who also like sort of make the house beautiful, beautification of the house. Okay, or yeah, sorry, you want to ask something? Yeah.
So it means like home designing, basically.
Yeah, it's not just home, Umzama. Any interior part of any building, when you want to design, it's called interior designing. So it needn't just be homes, it can be anything in a building. Maybe it's a big theater.
Even in parks.
Sorry, yeah, but inside of the building. Correct, inside of the building. So that's why it's called interior designing. Clear? Okay, great. Okay, other than this, of course, the generic careers, you also have animation, right? One of you was talking about making characters, so maybe you are interested in animation. There are a huge number of big careers, like maybe you want to work with Pixar. Have you heard of Pixar? Anybody?
Yes, it's an
Yes,
animation company
Yes,
joined with
excellent.
Disney.
Right. So if you want to work with Pixar, so again, that's animation. Animation is again a huge field. So it's not just about like cartoon animations, but it could also be right now. We're also like whenever maybe you've seen educational videos, right, which also have animations in there. Correct? You know? Yes. So again, like education field, there also animations could be there. So teaching, hospitality. Okay, that got repeated. I think hospitality. Then MBA. How many of you have heard the word MBA?
Me.
Okay, you okay. Okay, so a lot of people, again, like a lot of people after any sort of graduation that they have done, matlab they gain some bachelors. After that they could always go for MBA, right? They become masters of business administration. So MBA is very important when you want to become like a manager, right? You have to, so you're taught, okay, how do businesses work, how do we manage people,
Is
okay, how
MCA a
do,
part of it?
sorry,
Is MCA a part of it?
MCA, no, Amma. MCA is Masters of Computer Administration, which is, yeah, computer architecture, which is completely different, which has got more to do with information technology, right? It has got more to do with the computer science field. MBA has got more to do with the business side. It has got more to do with management, leadership, businesses, and all that. So it's all about how to run a business. Okay, in how to run a business, again, you could be your expertise could be in marketing a product, right? Marketing is how do I sell this product. Okay, now some engineer already designed this product for me. How do I sell it in the market, right? That is what marketing does. Then there is also human resource management. All these people who are working in my company, how do I take care of them, right? What should be the conditions in the company that they really want to come and work for the company. So all of these again options is what you learn through an MBA. Great. Then you also have a finance option in MBA, so you get to understand more about how to run the company, what are the different finance things which are involved. So all those things are there. Now, coming, so I think with that, I guess we have mostly come to the end of it. So again, adding here, because somebody talked about IAS and IPS, those are actually called civil services. So those are the central civil services that we have talked about. Those again, so there are different prerequisites. I hope, do you guys understand prerequisites? What is a prerequisite? Have you heard of this word?
An introduction.
No. Any other guess? What is a prerequisite?
Something that's done before you do the use.
Exactly. So prerequisite is before I do a certain thing, I need to have a checklist ready. I need to finish some things off before I do certain thing. Correct? So that is a prerequisite. So as you go forward with your careers, as you imagine, okay, I want to become this, you always have to understand what is the step before becoming that. Okay, so those are the things we need to understand, that what do I need to do one step before that, what do I need to do one step before that. So that's a prerequisite. So for going into civil services like IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS, IFS is Indian Foreign Service. Okay, IRS is Indian Revenue Service. Okay, IPS is Indian Police Service. IAS is Indian Administrative Service. So all of these central services, you will have to write the UPSC Civil Services exam. So that is the idea. And the prerequisite to write that exam is you have to be a graduate. So for them, it's not important what you do, finish your graduation in, whether you do it in humanities or commerce or engineering or medical, doesn't matter. You have to finish your college. That's what it means. You have to graduate. And after that, you can write, anybody can write the exam. And once you clear it, you can become an IAS and IPS. Clear?
I have a doubt.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you mean by human?
Sorry,
Uh,
couldn't hear your question.
my question is, there are two types of civils, right? One is all of this IAS, IPS field, and one is designing the buildings, architect.
No. Architecture and designing don't come in civil services exam.
No. There are another type, civil engineering. Yeah.
They're
Civil,
talking about
okay,
civil
okay.
engineering. Yes.
Okay. Civil engineering comes under engineering. Civil engineering is about construction of buildings, bridges, theaters. Okay, that is what is civil engineering. That has got nothing to do with civil services. Civil
Ma'am,
services, huh. Yes.
I've got a doubt. What's mean by humanities? I just
Humanities. Oh, very good question. Humanities are basically, these are the subjects which deal with people. Correct? When I talk about
Yes, ma'am.
languages, I'm talking about, I am understanding more about the people. In journalism and mass communication, I'm reporting about the people. Correct? So humanities is basically you're trying to understand human beings in various different ways. Correct? See, if I go back and look at commerce is more to do with how businesses happen. Correct? It's more to do with trade and commerce. Maybe you've heard these words before in history, right? Trade
Yes,
and
ma'am.
commerce. Correct? So commerce has got nearly not really anything to do with the lives of people, right? Commerce has gotten more to do with how trading is happening. Okay, what are my numbers? Am I getting enough revenue or not? Correct? What is my economics? So that is what. So humanities is, we are trying to understand more how the society is functioning. Okay, how people are interacting with each other. So all these subjects come under humanities. Clear? Any
Sushi,
doubts? Yes.
yes,
we have a
ma'am.
question in the chat.
Okay.
Tushara, she has asked about what does post graduation mean?
Okay, so
Study
Divya,
after
would you like to take that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So undergraduation is something after you do your 12th. It's a 3 year or 4 year program. And post graduation is after what, all the master's degrees, MSc, MS, and PhD programs, all those fall under post graduation category. So that is extensive knowledge in a particular field that you have chosen. And MBA also falls under post graduation, yes. So yes, all the master's degrees, PhD programs, postdoctoral programs, all those fall under the post-graduation category. Tushara,
Okay, auntie, thank you.
Okay.
Tushi, would you like to add anything to that?
Um, no, I think you covered it mainly, Divya. That so graduation is like when you cover the bachelor's. Those are called bachelor's degree. That is what you do initially. So once you finish the basic college, like Divya said, for 3 to 4 years, you become a graduate. So whatever you are learning after becoming a graduate is post graduation, right? Post graduation. So you become a graduate first, and then whatever you learn after, whatever you study after that is post graduation. Clear? Okay. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I am very much to the end of my
Excuse me,
presentation
ma'am.
here. Yeah, sure. Yes.
In the IAS exams, we have more to do with social. So in the 11th and 12th class, if we take MPC and BIPC, so are there chances to gain a knowledge in the social?
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Divya, would you like to take that question?
Um, yes. So IAS, IPS, yes, it involves a lot of humanities material. But as far as I have known, and I have also attempted those exams. So during you start your preparation during your engineering degree, or I was doing my engineering. So I had started my preparation in my second year of undergraduation. So it was not difficult for me. It was not specifically technically oriented material that you require for IAS, IPS preparation. It mostly revolves under general knowledge, current affairs, and stuff, which I felt it wasn't difficult to pick up during your undergraduation time. So, personally, I did not feel that I was lagging anything, that I did not take a degree in humanities. But yes, if you have a degree in humanities, that would be an added advantage. What do you say, Sushi?
Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. So I would agree with what Divya said that humanities and all. So one thing that I would want to add here, that you can imagine that because the prerequisite is just a graduation, and definitely civil service exams, I want to add here, is a level playing field, which means the exam will be equally difficult whichever stream you come from. So just because you're from a particular stream, maybe because maybe you studied humanities before, or maybe because you studied engineering before, things don't become much easier for you. So the components in the exam are there is a certain mixture and matching in such a manner that it's not important what background you come from, like what are the subjects you studied from before, but it is going to have elements from all the different streams. Okay, so it's not like if you come from a particular subject that you have a definite advantage for yourself. No. Again, another thing we have to, it's important for us to understand here that civil services is for becoming an administrator, right? When you're writing and you're sort of like, it's for choosing administrators in like Indian administrative service or IPS and all these things. Administrators have to have a lot of general awareness. That's more important. They don't need to have specialization in any particular field. So too much of specialization is not required, but general awareness about what are the things happening around you. Okay, what is the general things. So it would be interesting for you to realize here that, even for the preparation, I'm sure even Divya would have done that. For the preparation of the civil services, we actually go back and read the textbooks from 6th standard onwards, right, Divya?
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. So we go back and read the same textbooks of, history, polity, geography. We revise the same topics from 6th grade to, to 11th grade or so on. So these are the topics that you all have studied, right? We all have studied these topics, correct? So we haven't missed out on anything. So that is what I just wanted to add over there.
Dr.
Okay.
Sushi, I mean,
Yeah.
can I just interfere? I mean,
Sure,
I'm
sure,
sorry,
sure.
Tazeen here. I hope it's not an interference.
No,
We keep
please.
telling the children all the time, all of us teachers, that what you do now is something that really holds you in good stead all your life. But if you're
Right.
aiming for something like civil services, it's bang on. What you're doing now is the content of, most of the questions that come later on. So if you just focus on all the subjects, physics, chemistry, your sciences, your social studies, even your English communication skills, they'll really hold you in good stead when you're appearing for a competitive exam. Logical, awareness, ability, mental ability questions, all these are a part of competitive exams. So if they focus now, school, they have a sure shot at these exams. Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful.
No,
Anita, wonderful. You have brought up a wonderful point. I'm
Yeah.
actually an educator and I train students on for different competitive exams, especially the banking exams, forest services, and SAT, CAT, and GRE. So most of the students that I have observed, they did not pay attention during their school, especially on math and those subjects. So now they are facing the difficulty in, because all these exams, the topics that are covered are quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, and English language. And all the syllabus that we have, it's what you learn in high school and your primary middle school. So if kids are able to focus now, and if they focus really well now, these things get simpler when you, because everything builds upon this foundation. You, whatever stream you pick up, whatever stream you choose, everything just builds upon this. And so if your foundation isn't strong, whatever stream you choose, you might be facing some difficulties. But if your foundation is strong, I'm sure whatever field you choose, you'll excel in it.
True. Very true.
Sure. Very true. So I guess very pertinent and excellent points made by both of you. So here I just want to add these things to the students also, that students, whatever career you might choose tomorrow, there are certain aspects which will be required for you for the rest of your life. So like Anita ma'am point out, first thing is communication, which is your English skills, which are very important throughout. Whichever job you go for, whatever career field you choose, the communication, presentation, this has become like very common thing that we all need to have. Second thing, again, Divya ma'am and Anita ma'am, that they talked about your mental ability, your basic maths. I know that a lot of students have fear of maths, right? Because they see that, okay, in ninth and 10th, I'm not able to grapple with all these things. And, I don't want to take maths in future. But maths is a subject which is going to stay with us for the rest of our lives, right? We cannot completely get rid of it. But we have to understand here that, like Anita ma'am pointed out, the fundamentals or the basics of maths, like all the maths, the general maths that you can do, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, a few of the mental ability and logical reasoning things that, a lot of you are good at it. Those are the things which should always be useful for you, even in the future competitive exams. So do not, develop this fear for maths. No, that's not at all required. So don't worry so much. And like both of them pointed out, work on your basics, the fundamentals and communication. So these two things I would definitely say are very, very important. And the third important thing is learning ability. Never imagine that, okay, if I've studied till here, my life is set or I'm done. If I pass this exam, my life is no. Learning is a throughout process, right? It's a lifelong process which has to continue. And a lot of successful people are the ones who never stop learning. So that is an important part of the growth. So that is what, again, some of the things I wanted to reiterate from what Divya ma'am and Anita ma'am have said. Again, very important points that they have raised. And I guess with that, I just would like to conclude this particular presentation. So here is what an eminent English poet, he said: the older order changeth, yielding place to new. So this is very important, that, that these careers and all these things, all the jobs out there in the world, they're constantly evolving, constantly. So it's very important for us to, to become aware what is happening around us, what are we interested in. Okay, because 10 years ago there were careers which might not have appeared. Maybe even to last year, even before COVID came, there were a lot of options out there which were not viable, or we had never thought about these things, but which have appeared in the last 1 year. So in the constant evolving societies that we have in the globalized world, it's important that we understand this and we keep up this learning factor with us, right? So this is very, very important, and that is what being talked about over here. Okay. So I guess with that, yeah, sorry. Another last part actually, which is again very important. I would like to talk about some of the offbeat careers also. Offbeat careers are something that, we don't regularly hear of, but again, which have become very important. New things have emerged out of it. So maybe, there's been a lot of focus, let's say, shifting to conservation, right? So maybe you are interested in forestry and wildlife conservation. You want to become a photographer. Okay. Earlier, before COVID, there was a huge demand, let's say, for event organizers and all that. Okay. And so we have listed out a few of the offbeat careers also, which could be considered. Again, one of these important offbeat careers is probably becoming, a career counselor, right? So that could also be an offbeat career that you could consider. So like with the field of education becoming very different, online education coming up. So those are again like new and offbeat careers which are coming up. So yeah, Divya, would you like to add anything over here?
I have a few questions in the chat window, Sushi.
Okay, sure.
Yes. So, Surabhi,
Excuse
you
me.
want to?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the meaning of gemology?
Okay.
Gemology.
Gemology is study of gems,
Yes.
not the ones we eat, but the gems like in diamonds and rubies and sapphires, all those.
Yes,
Okay.
I think during this time of COVID, I've seen a lot of offbeat careers, Sushi. Not only offbeat careers, you were also talking about, during the presentation, you were talking about careers of artists, choreographers. And during this period of COVID, like I take art classes for my 4-year-old and also dance classes for her. And I am paying around $20 an hour for art classes and for dance choreographer classes. And for those classes, in each class they have around 10 to 20 people. So previously, like at the time when I was getting into my career, looking at my career options, people would say like, okay, dancing or artist, those careers don't pay you well. But if you look at now, like it's wonderful that all these careers, they're finding a way. If you're good at something, you definitely find means. If you are interested in finance, definitely you'll find means to make it more financially good for you. So definitely, your as you mentioned, your interest and aptitude is what matters for choosing a career. So Surabhi, are you here?
Okay, so while we are waiting for Surbi ma'am, I would just like to conclude the offbeat career. So there are so many again options. Maybe you're interested in archaeology. Okay, maybe you want to become a social media consultant. So like Divya ma'am talked about all these new emerging careers with social media. Like you could be an influencer, you could be a social media consultant. So all the big brands out there, right? Like Nike, Nike, Reebok, they all look for like social media consultants who are going to work on, okay, what is going to be posted on the social media. Then you all these other careers like personal trainers, which have become very important because they've become very health focused, and something like photography, wildlife photography. Again, design fields have reappeared here because again they are slowly gaining importance, like I talked about before. So I guess now, like product design, we already talked about interior. Another thing is furniture designing, ceramic and glass. Then of course there's a huge field in communication design. You could be into graphic designing or web designing or animation, and you could also be a novelist maybe, or a multi-marketing agent. So these are the multiple offbeat careers which are available with you out there. So that is the most important thing. And so what we want to conclude by saying here is that we have loads and loads of choices, right? Loads and loads of choices that are there before us. So now, you're sort of aware of the menu card before us. So, okay, with that, I've discussed the huge menu card. There are much, much more options while you go around. So our idea right now is just to ignite your spark, your interest, and by telling you that these are the multiple, options we have out there. And now we would really recommend for you to go and explore. So whatever are so this particular presentation is going to be shared with all of you. You can go through it again. And what we would really encourage you to do is find out more about careers that, which interest you, which spark your interest. Know more about it. Talk to people who are doing that. Okay, maybe if you get a chance, like tag along with people who are in that job. Maybe not right now in the pandemic, but maybe post pandemic you could do that. Talking to people, finding out what are the pros and cons. Do you really like it, or is it just like, you look at it and you think it's fantastic, but when you get to know a bit more, maybe you're like, oh, maybe this is not the thing for me. Idea is to explore, right? So you're all in a stage where exploration is very important, and that's why we are presenting all of these choices for you. And there is definitely a choice out there for each and every one of us. So that's what we want to emphasize. Excellent. So I guess, yeah, Divya, I think with that, the presentation from my side is done. So would you like to take over then?
Yes, there are a few questions, Sushi. So
Okay.
we also have a video. Do you want me to play that now? It's what are some of
Sure.
the careers that have popped up during COVID times? I think that would be interesting for all of you to look at to understand what are some of the different careers that have popped up during this times of COVID, and what are the careers that we usually don't look at, but they do exist and they are doing really well. So let's see if I can play that video. And we have some interesting questions in the chat box too, Sushi, if you want
Okay,
to
sure. So
go through.
Divya, so maybe I'll just yeah. So probably like maybe you would love to take those questions. I'll just read them out, some of them
Yeah,
for you.
sure. Uh,
So okay, so here, yeah. So Nitya here is asking, what would be the difference sort of between event planning and a wedding planner?
um, wedding planning is a subset of event planning, Nitya. it is necessarily not the same. Event planning includes several events, like for example, even if you want to plan an event for your school, like annual day, so that also falls under event planning. So event planning for some organization, like their annual party or awards functions, so all those fall under event planning, and wedding planning is one subset, one part of event planning. So it's a
Could
huge
be,
umbrella, and that is one part of it.
it could be also like a birthday planning or ceremonies or
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Any event, whatever event, whatever scale it is, it falls under event planning.
Yeah. Okay, I hope that answered the question. So another question from Madhi Varman here. So he's asking, ma'am, I'm good at drawing. What careers can I take?
Okay, wonderful. So you can get in, there are different careers, Madhi Varman. Like, you can get into graphic designing. Is the first thing that comes on the top of my head. And then inside it, you have several branches again. Like some of you can even get into animation too if you're creative, because since you're saying you're good at drawing, I'm sure you're very creative, and also designing characters. So there are you can even become an architect because it involves planning of drawing designs of buildings, homes, etc. So there are several careers within that skill set that you have mentioned, drawing. So it depends on what interests you or what you are passionate about. What do you say, Sushi?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Uh, so moving on, I think now this is a very, I think a different and an interesting question we have from one of the parents, Divya. So the parents want to know that if we can suggest them any specific career for girls in particular, which can balance both family and professional life in the long run. So again, because in the given pandemic situation, a lot of women have had to leave the jobs in order to balance or take care of their kids at home. So the parents would like to know if there are like particular careers like you could probably suggest for girls.
Awesome. That's actually a very sensible question. But frankly, I have never thought about it that way, because now, given the scenario that most of the jobs are giving us the opportunity of working from homes, right? So, just as I mentioned, like earlier, it was like if it is a dance class, it has to be face to face. I had to go to the dance studio or a dance class in person to understand or to learn dance. But right now, almost every career, except for the medical field where in person is required, I think almost all the careers are trying to pick up the work from home facility. So I'm sure over the time, since I know, I being a mother and being a parent, I understand girls need have additional responsibilities. But with the work from home opportunities, I'm trying to balance that thing, and I believe over the time that would become the norm, and there will be resources and infrastructure built in certain way that even women, parents or mothers can take up all the opportunities, and they don't have to, stick with one particular stream or one particular career.
Yeah, great, Divya. I think that was a great answer. Uh, okay, so just about like because I'm still thinking a bit about this question because yes, I think in the present era it's a very pertinent question. So I guess like just to add to what Divya said, I 100% agree with her that going forward from the COVID era, I think more and more IT companies and a lot more companies are looking towards working from home and helping the employees set up the the home working environment in a more family friendly manner. There has been a greater push towards work life balance even in India, and even the policies of the government with respect to like women have changed are changing a lot, like with respect to maternity leave or like with like paternity leave coming in between. So yes, there is a lot of like for the future I think it holds a lot of opportunities. And I guess as parents presently, like we definitely understand the concern, but I think it also has to do with like we preparing our children for that better world, and also like actively, you know, trying also at the same time to change the world, so that, you know, they don't have to lose opportunities, but, you know, they can like probably shift from one thing to the other, and without, you know, losing whatever that they really want to hold on to, or what they really want to work towards. So I think going forward, it won't be like either this or this situation, but probably we'll have more options wherein we could like either balance, or there will be a greater support for, you know, for women and everybody around, a greater support system which comes into being, which will help each and every person like achieve their dreams. So that is what we have to hope for, and that is what we need to work for. Okay, so from last year here, we have another question, Divya. So she's asking, ma'am, I'm good at dancing. What careers can I take?
Great, Lasya. So there are the one thing that I can think at the top of my mind is definitely choreography. And once you get into choreography, there are again different streams or different areas that you can get into. You can get into, the movie industry, or you can have your own personal business, like, having studios, dance studios, training people. So there are several options within whatever skill you have mentioned, like dancing. So right now I can think of choreography, getting into movies, having your own dance studios, training students, and also you can, you know, uh, it also, there's a field called which involves dancing plus sports, like ice skating. If you, I'm not sure if all of you know this, but especially ice skating, etc., where both dance and skating, the skills of both dance and skating are involved. So there are several such subgroups where you can use your skill and excel in it.
Excellent, Divya. I think that covered like that would have given probably a lot of options to Lasya through your answer. So Lasya, we hope that, you know, you've listened to ma'am, and like you can think about all these multiple other options that you have, uh, you know, and probably you can explore this thing even more, because dancing again doesn't mean, it could also be about what particular type of dance you want to evolve. Is it contemporary? There are also again various styles in there that you could explore, and all of those options are available, like ma'am talked about.
Yes,
So,
and yeah, Sushi, before we go into the next question, I just want to add that um, before, like when I graduated or when I was in high school, we did not have computers and access to so many resources. So research was a distant vision then. But now with the power of research, with the power of, mobile phones and internet at the tip of your fingers, always you have the ability to conduct research. So whatever skill you have, if you just do little research, I'm sure you will be able to explore multi options and multidisciplinary options, as Sushi talked about. So, and you'll be amazed to see what all fields are emerging there. And this is what I tell all my students and all my friends and family, that research is first important thing, because that will give you options what you do not know or what you have not seen, and it opens up multi windows for you. So first very important thing, guys, research. And definitely all the career counselors and your teachers and your parents can definitely help you with that.
Um, Dr. Sushi, and
yeah,
we've got a child here from class 10 asking, all the options shown by you were interesting. Sirisha specifically asked, so how do I know what is the right match? Here, maybe you can kind of talk to them about, because the class 9 and 10 children have the psychometric test lined up. So if you can just explain a little about, how, these psychometric tests will help them kind of narrow down the options for them. Because a child specifically asked that question. So there are many options. How do we realize what is, how to choose? So maybe you can speak about the psychometric test that the children are going to face in the next few days. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So would you want to take up that question?
No, Divya, you can go ahead. I think you
Okay.
have the, so probably you
Yes.
could also show them that, right?
Yes. Let me get on to, are you able to see my screen? Let me,
Not yet.
okay.
Yes.
How about
Yeah,
mine?
now. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Great, kids. So, yes, this is a very wonderful question, and it definitely is the question at this right time that you have to be asking. Like, how would I choose with so many options around? Isn't it confusing? So that is what Dr. Sushi had mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, that everything again boils down to three elements. I call it PIA. It's your personality, interest, and aptitude. Okay, and or you can say API. That's easy, for you to remember. Aptitude, personality, and interest. It all depends upon what are you interested towards, what is your passion, and what is your personality about. So how would I know that? For that, we have something called Career Guide has come up with an amazing test called Ideal Career Test, which will help you identify what your strengths and weaknesses are, what is your aptitude towards, what is your personality like, and you would be amazed to learn things that you do not know about yourself. So this test is wonderful, and it gives you three three careers or three fields that you might excel in based on the performance in the test. So students, I would just walk you through what it is and how do you start about it. So you visit careerguide.com, and here there's an option called sign in, or you can directly get into take ideal career test, because that's what you want to explore, what kind of career would be ideal to you based on your aptitude and your personality and interest. So when you click on that, take test, and okay, one second. Okay, it says start ideal career test and have a coupon code. Let's get into, okay, I'm already signed in. Let me log out and show it to you. How do you go about signing in? For some reason.
Divya, it's okay. Without signing in, you could probably show
Okay.
them, right? Yeah.
So guys, if you can see, start ideal career test here, and you have a coupon code. So we have a coupon code for your school, which is Daksh_00. You can just apply that coupon code. Something is going on here with my system, but okay, let me try it again. And then you say apply coupon. And it says you get a message that your coupon code has been successfully applied. And that's when you start your ideal career test. Okay. And okay, here it's again asking me to create an account. So this is what you do. You create an account first. So you can give your email ID. Since I already have an account, I don't need it again. So you can provide your, I would suggest go with your email ID, full name, password, and select your education level with your mobile number, and you can create an account, and it will then take you to this page, the ideal career test, when you apply the coupon code. Okay, there's something going on here, but
Yeah, Divya, that's no problem. So maybe we can, if we could just explain to the students then like what happens in the test.
so you have a bunch of questions here, guys. So it is about your personality and okay, I'm again logged out. But that's fine. So you have questions about aptitude, your personality, your likings, your preferences, and so there'll be some scenarios where you'll be reading the scenario and then you'll be answering how would you react to that particular scenario. So this test is very, very important for you to be able to understand what you are good at and what you might excel in. So students, be very, very honest in this test, and it might take around 30 to 40 minutes to complete this test. So read every question very carefully and look at what it is asking for. And most of the questions are yes or no. So don't you don't have to get confused like, okay, should I answer no, yes. So whatever pops up in your mind, or whatever your instant reaction to certain scenario questions, please answer that way. For aptitude, yes, take your time, look at the questions, the aptitude questions, and see how would you fill that sequence, etc. But otherwise, it's a very straightforward test, but you need to be very honest while doing the test. Do not skip questions, because at the end it would not let you get the report. And at the end of the test, when you finish the test, you can click on submit, and then a report will be generated, which would look something like this. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. After you finish the test will give you a report which will suggest your top 3 ideal careers. Okay, for example, law and order, media and entertainment, designing and art. This is not in any particular order. It's not like I have to choose law and order first over media and design. These are the 3 careers that suits your personality and your aptitude. Okay, so based on the 3 careers, most times it happens that the 3 careers might be interrelated, or they might be different, like designing and art is different from law and order. And at the end of the day, it is you as a person who knows like what interests you and what is your passion about. You can decide which one to pick. But this report is an exclusive report, and it gives you what your interests are and what the career motivators for you are, based on the answers that you have provided in the test. So again, your tests or your answers play a huge role in determining this report. So be honest in the test. And if you have, I would suggest just take some time for yourself, sit in a room, sit in one nice corner, have an office space or something, and be alone. And where you're not influenced by anyone. Okay, I would say I would ask parents to give about 40 to 45 minutes of time for the kid to be alone and work on this test alone. And if the kid has any questions during the test, or if they're not able to understand a particular question or what it is asking for, you can definitely ask your parents or anybody around you to help you with that. But I would suggest don't get influenced by anyone. Whatever you feel is right for you, or whatever you think is the right answer, you can put it. And remember, there's no right or wrong answers in the test. It is all about how you think and what your ability and interests are. Okay, and you have aptitude parameters here in the report, which gives you what is your score on different factors of aptitude, like acuteness, numerical. So based on these aptitude scores, your 3 careers would be decided. So for this student Kanika, her numerical aptitude and acuteness aptitude, she has a high score on that, and that is the reason she has been suggested designing and media and entertainment, law and order. So based on your aptitude skills, your careers would be shown to you. And you would also be given details about what are your strong points and what are your weak points, and where you can work upon, so that whichever field you want to get into, those weak points won't become a hindrance to you. And your plus points, since they are listed out, you can use them as your tools to excel in that particular type of career. So this report is very extensive. And again, as I said, please be honest with your test, and then you would see wonders with this report. You'll able to understand what streams to pick up based on the careers that have been suggested to you. Okay, so Sushi, would you want to add any more points to this?
Yeah, sure. So just a interesting question from Arjun. He's saying, what does gung ho mean? I think that was one of the options mentioned there. So Arjun, gung ho just means that people who are like always ready on the go, and whatever challenges are thrown onto them, like they're always ready to, ready for new and newer challenges, to try out new things, always on the go. So that's like a gung ho attitude. Sorry, Divya, sorry for that slight detour. Coming back to again, so I hope that for everybody, it's clear how Divya ma'am explained to you different steps on. So it's basically class 9th and 10th, I think. If Anita
Yes.
ma'am could like reiterate that, yeah, 9th and 10th, we're going to be taking these psychometric career assessments. So like I told all of you, this is a part of knowing ourselves better, right? How do I know myself better? So that is what the career assessment is going to tell you about. So like Divya ma'am said, again, I want to repeat the important things. Sit alone when you're taking the test. Okay, don't be influenced by others. And there is no right or wrong answer. Every answer is correct if you're truthful. That's the thing. So you're not going to get some marks or a rank for this. This is not at all to do with that. It's about understanding yourself better in order to choose the best career option for you. And please understand here, like Divya ma'am said, again, that the report is going to give you in detail everything about what is your aptitude, what are your interests, what are your career motivators, okay, and what are your plus point. So what are your strengths and your weaknesses? What are the areas? Instead of weaknesses, we call it areas of improvement. So this report in detail is going to also explain to you each of the aspects. And other than that, we, I guess, like the other counselors from Career Guide would also help you out. I guess Anita ma'am would be able to explain that. Important thing, take the test on your own. Okay. In the test, you're not supposed to be taking help from your parents to determine what is the best option for yourself. So read the options, and whatever in that moment you think is the most genuine, most honest answer, choose that option. Don't think too much about it. Don't also like be in a hurry to finish the test. There is really no time limit for it. But generally, we take about 40 to 45 minutes to finish the test. If you even have to take longer, that's also fine. You won't be penalized or anything. And again, repeating, there is no correct answer or wrong answer. The right way to approach the test is to be as genuine and honest as possible, because the test is to determine who you actually are and what is the best career option for you.
And
So I guess,
can
yeah.
we say that parents should not be around?
Oh yes, Surbhi, that has already been mentioned actually by Divya. Yeah. That parents are kindly requested not to, influence your child with the answers, or as far as possible, give them the space so that they can, attempt the test, attempt this assessment on their own. Yeah, Surbhi, over to you. Hello, Surbhi. Divya, are you there?
I'm here.
Dr. Sushi, I think we have just one question, that's been gone unanswered. Maybe if we have time, a quick one, if you could.
Sure.
I'm interested in literature. I think this is from Harshini. I'm interested in literature. So what options are there for me?
Okay. Sorry. That, okay. Who? So regarding to literature, Harshini, so there are, okay. So the questions that I see is that you're interested in both social work and literature. Now, when it comes to literature, depending upon, let's see, literature of which particular language. So definitely if you're choosing like English literature or Hindi literature, you could go on to, study the language in depth. You could go on to becoming a teacher in that particular language. Again, people with literature background can also go often, let's say if you're into English literature, they can go often into areas like copywriting, right? Or content development for, let's say, for websites, for educational purposes. You could be working on the content development with also big companies. So whatever things are written on their website, there would be a copywriter who would be working on that. And definitely a lot of these copywriters and content writers, they have literature background. So coming to that is the literature part of it. Often people combine literature also with mass communication, because again, literature coming from that background, having a good hold over the language, helps them excel in, like, let's say in journalism, like writing articles and all that. So that is something also you could explore. Coming to social work, again, that's an excellent field. There is a huge demand for social workers and people to work in the non-profit institutions, NGOs all over India. Again, one of the very important institutes for that you could explore is the Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai, TISS, it's called. So again, what careers? So you could be a social worker, you could be working at the grassroots level in the villages with the people, you could be working with the Anganwadi workers. So again, social work has different fields, Amma. Like it could be social work in the case of education, or maybe you want to focus on, child and women, healthcare and development. You could also become, like Divya ma'am has talked about, child welfare officer. You could be working along with the government also to like develop policies for women and children development and for their welfare. That's a huge thing. Yes, of course. And there's also, like, after social work, you could combine it with like psychology to become like a behavioral analyst, or like a therapist or a counselor. Again, in social work, there are different fields like criminology, okay, policy making, rehabilitation. So all of these options also, Divya ma'am is writing them down in the chat box. You can see it in front of you. So I hope like this gives you a better idea, but I will definitely recommend you, Amma, to like explore the options more, like talk to people who come from that background, understand their work more in order to, know about more and more options. Yes, I hope that answers. Yeah.
Yes, I think it does. So, Surabhi, would you like to conclude? I think it's been extremely insightful, and I love the way both of you connected with the children and taking the question with so much patience. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sushi. Thank you, Divya.
Thank you, Anita ma'am.
Thank you. This was a wonderful group here, very active.
Thank you. Yeah. Surabhi, would you like to conclude? We do have the psychometric test, children, that was elaborated here, and the link will be shared with the class 9 and 10. But looks like the classes 7 and 8 are extremely eager to, take it as well. But you'll have to really hold your horses. Maybe next year or the year after, you can take it, children. But for now, 9th and 10th would be, taking the test. Right. I think Surabhi is on and off. Surabhi, are you there?
I think she isn't here. I didn't hear her, but
right. Okay. I think the children today is their last working day, so they've got a class party lined up after this. So they're all kind of waiting to join that. But we'd really like to thank you, Dr. Sushi and Divya. Wonderful session.
Thank
Hope
you.
to interact with you in the future times. Thank you so much. And
Sure,
children,
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Aunty.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Auntie.
guys. And
Thank you.
Anita
Thank
ma'am,
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, auntie. Thank you, auntie.
Thank you, children.
So
You can join
excited.
your class parties as the teachers.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you, auntie.
All the best with future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you, Sushi. Divya, you were saying something?
Yes, I must congratulate you, for bringing this option to the kids. And a huge shout out to you, the teachers, the staff, and parents, of course, across the world, for making learning a continuous process, even during this time of pandemic.
Thank you.
It has been wonderful. Teachers and staff have been working really, really hard. And being an educator myself, I understand that conducting sessions online is not an easy task. But with people like you and managements like yours, definitely this is a wonderful job, and it keeps learning continuous. So congratulations on that. And I
Thank
think
you.
Surabhi is here.
Yeah.
You missed this. You miss the kids. I think
Okay,
they left.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I was. Yeah.
It was a wonderful session. So being the first time, I think the children were really intrigued. They had a lot of questions, and I think a lot of questions were answered through the presentation itself. So thank you for the session, and we hope to continue with the psychometric tests and
Right.
see it to its logical conclusion.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are around, we are absolutely around for all the students and parents. Thanks, Sushi.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Children, you can go ahead and join your respective class.